Well, here we are, Peacock Gap, Paul Gorman, Lynn Blake, October 20th, 2022. All right, where to start? Well, we're going to spend the day with Paul and talking about lots of different things. Why don't we start with the secret of golf? Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. Notice we got some high grass here, and if I'm setting up in a basic address position, weight equidistant between the feet, head centered, you can lift the toes momentarily. All right, so that's your basic address position, classic. Hips centered. Okay, now if I move into an impact position, notice I'm not even gripping the clubs just here. Oh, wow. What happened to the perpendicular shaft, perpendicular to the line? Oh, I got a little lean, right? But the hands are still mid-body. It's just my mid-body moved over. Did my head move over? No, it's right here still. So address position, impact position, they're not the same, unless of course you want it to be, because you can do anything you want. It's just golf after all. So here we go, classic address. By the way, if we started up with this kind of a motion here, then you'd get into this. Oh, well, now we got backward lean. Okay, so we got no lean, we got a forward lean through impact, we got backward lean going away. Of course, if we grip the club very firmly, you don't see that, do you? If we grip it lightly, like the old players, you know, you got a little bit of that. Oh, yeah, if we you don't see it, but it is there. In other words, the club's always chasing us. We're not chasing the club head. Most people do. The club's, well, we're not doing that. The club's chasing, we're the boss here. And we've got this central rotating mechanism, the body, zone 1. And the club head's the last thing to move. All right, so back to the secret. That's high grass. Notice, so I'm going to go into my fix, impact fix, section 2 of the stroke, fixing in mind all your impact alignments, and it's not hard. It's this, okay, here. Now, through the ball, look at already, you can see the pressure here. The pressure, the pressure. It's a steady eddy driving. I'm releasing, my right arm's releasing, my left hand is uncocked and starting to roll. My left arm is beginning to leave the chest because my pivot is driving it. So I got all 4 sources of power at work, at least geometrically. It may not, depends on which way, whether I'm using the body rotation to throw the club out or the right arm to drive the club out. I'm going to do one of those sources of power or the other, but whatever, the geometry is the same. The right arms are going to be extending whether it's driving the club actively or not. A little bit further than I wanted to go in this, but there we go. So we're here. And now, so the right arm's extending. That's the first source. The left wrist is uncocked. Left hand is rolling. The left arm is being driven either by the right arm off the chest or by the pivot. There. So we feel through here the steady eddy drag there. See, this is, the club's lagging behind. It doesn't want to go along with us. It would just as soon stay there. Let's see. It's not moving. That's what Isaac Newton taught us about 300 years ago. So that's where it wants to stay, but it can't because we're an unbalanced force moving this way. And so it's having to go along. It's a steady, unceasing, steady as you go, driving pressure, constant, 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 constant. While everything's releasing, this is never releasing. Now the right arm's fully straight into the follow through. Shaft at 45 degrees to the ground. That would be 90 degrees, that's 45. So if we get a ball, the whole idea. That is deep rough, that's good rough, okay. We got a line, baseline of the plane, we'll align it to the target line. And the whole idea, we're going to get that ball welded against the face of the club at impact. Face slightly open, which will close in that 3/4 of an inch, that 4/10,000ths of a second, so we can do this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the secret of golf. Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
And then let the reversal take you through. Boom, 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 boom. Thump, brush, thump, trigger? Brush. I'm talking about, yeah, timing it with your feet. The loading precedes the movement of the hands back. When I say the loading, I mean the loading of the feet. Nice. That's good. Mm-hmm. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot.
Not
right,
so much a Billy
left,
Casper, but...
Right. Well, it's not going to move out of place, no, but it's still there. The loading is what's important. Nice. Beautifully done, in fact.
It's like a little hip or something or other, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's what. Number 12 component, pivot, is power package transport. Even hitting stroke. See, from the top, you don't just start driving it down. That right elbow is transported in. It's transported, then it drives. So hitting or swinging, power package transport is the job of the pivot, unless it's extremely short shots with zero pivot. A little more deliberate. That was quickish from the top. So right, left, right. I want you to do this drill for me because it's very helpful to your students, particularly so they can see it, because they're all worried about their timing, right? And if you're on your mats, it can really show up. And that's what I call the thump brush. Thump of the heel and the brush of the blade. Thump, brush, 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 thump. And the faster, swing the hand at the boy. Thump, brush, thump, brush, thump, brush, thump, brush. That's your timing. To hit the ball far, you got to have fast arms swinging. But fast arms require fast feet. Thump, brush, thump, brush, thump, brush, thump, brush, thump, brush, thump, brush. There's your timing. And when you go brush thump, it doesn't work. And that's what those fat hits were. They were brush thump. So you need a little time to change directions. Lower body leads, upper body lags. There's your pivot lag. See, even these little strokes is there. Thump, brush, 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 thump, brush. There's your timing.
You weren't brushing on the backswing, were you?
I was.
Okay.
You may not have heard. It's very effective on the mats. You can really hear it on the mats when you do it. And I might not have done it in the drill, but it should have brushed.
Yeah, I thought you were, and I was just trying to get clear.
And we would definitely, yeah. You see how that easily that carried through? So even these little, it's what Byron Nelson called his rocking chair. Now he thinks rocking back and forth, but really it's this, okay? But that's what he felt. But that's what he taught Tom Watson. It's this little right, left. So when Watson hold that little pitch shot on 17 to beat Nicklaus in the Open, it was right. It was that he wasn't right, boom. And that's the Byron Nelson thing. Nelson wrote about that, said it wasn't unusual for him to hold 2 or 3 chip shots around, which is pretty good when you consider that's about all the greens he missed in a 72-hole tournament.